The English Oasis, where your voice begins. It is a quiet evening. Not the kind of quiet that feels empty, but the kind that feels honest. I am sitting alone in my room. A simple desk. A notebook with blank pages. And a dream that feels too big for this small space. I want to speak English. Not just a few words. Not just sentences from a book. I want to speak with confidence, with feeling, with my own voice. But here is the truth. I don't have a teacher. I don't go to an English school. I don't have foreign friends to practice with. No one is waiting for me to speak. It's just me, this room, and the quiet. For a long time, I believed that wasn't enough. I told myself stories. I need a classroom. I need a perfect plan. I need someone to correct every mistake. And because of those thoughts, I waited. I waited for the right time. I waited to feel ready. I waited to feel confident. But confidence never came. One night, I looked at my empty notebook again. The pages were blank, but my heart was not. It was full of questions, full of fear, full of hope. And suddenly, I understood something important. The notebook was empty because I had never started. I took a deep breath and made a small promise to myself. I will not give up. My vocabulary is small. My grammar is imperfect. My pronunciation is far from clear. But I have something stronger. I have the courage to begin. And maybe, just maybe, that is enough. A quiet voice inside me whispers, "You don't need permission to start." If you are listening to this right now, if you feel afraid but curious, if you want to speak English but don't know where to begin, this story is for you. Welcome to the English Oasis. This is not a classroom. This is a safe place. A place where your voice can grow. Before we continue, I want to say one small thing. If you are learning English at home, if you feel shy when you speak, if you believe that slow learning is still real learning, please subscribe to the English Oasis. This channel is a quiet place for stories, simple English, and steady growth. No pressure, no rush. Just you, your voice, and one step at a time. Now, let's begin together. Chapter 1. The first time I spoke English alone. The next morning feels different. The sun is bright, but my chest feels heavy. Today, I will speak English. Not later. Not someday. Today, there is no teacher in front of me. No classmates sitting nearby. No schedule on the wall. Just silence. I sit on my bed and ask myself quietly, can I really learn English like this? My mind answers quickly. It will be hard. It reminds me of all my past failures. All the times I started and stopped. All the times I felt stupid. But my heart answers softly, try. So I do. I stand up and look around my room. I point to the table. This is a table. My voice sounds strange. slow. Uncertain. I point to the chair. This is a chair. My face feels warm. I feel shy, even though no one is watching. I walk to the window. This is a window. Simple words. Simple sentences. But something important is happening. I am speaking. I move slowly through the room, naming everything I see. I give English to my world. In the kitchen, I continue. This is a cup. That's a spoon. This is a plate. I speak to objects like they are my friends, like they are listening, and in a way, they are. Then I stand in front of the mirror. I see my own face. Nervous, hopeful, a little afraid. Hello? I say. How are you? I laugh quietly. It feels silly, but it also feels powerful. What is your name? My name is Sam. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. This is my first English conversation, and I am having it with myself. For the first time, I am waiting for someone else. I am choosing to speak. I sit down and open my notebook. I write a few words. Not many, just enough. Then I read them out loud, again and again. Sometimes I forget a word. Sometimes I say it wrong. Sometimes I stop and start again. But I don't quit, because mistakes are not the enemy. Silence is. Throughout the day, I keep talking. When I brush my teeth, I brush my teeth. When I make tea, I boil water. I pour the tea. When I walk across the room, I open the door. I close the window. My life becomes simple English. And something beautiful happens. No one laughs at me. No one interrupts me. No one tells me I am wrong. I feel safe. I feel free. Confidence doesn't begin on a stage. It doesn't begin in front of people. It begins in a quiet room. It begins when you choose to use your voice. That day, I don't learn grammar rules. I don't memorize lists. I don't study hard. But I learn something far more important. I learn how to begin. Chapter 2. Listening before understanding. The next morning, a new question lives in my mind. How do babies learn a language? They don't study grammar. They don't open textbooks. They don't worry about mistakes. They listen all the time. So I decide to do the same. Today, I won't try to understand everything. I won't translate in my head. I won't stop every time I don't know a word. I will just listen. I find a slow English story online. The voice is calm, clear, kind. It tells a simple story about daily life. I don't understand every word. But I don't stop. I let the sounds flow into me. While cooking breakfast, I listen. While cleaning my room, I listen. While walking outside, I listen again. I am not listening for entertainment. I am listening to train my ears. I notice the rhythm of English. The pauses. the rise and fall of the voice. Sometimes I repeat short sentences. Sometimes I just listen quietly. Both are learning. At night, I play one last story before sleep. I close my eyes. English fills the quiet, and something magical begins to happen. Even when the audio stops, English continues inside my mind. That night, lying in bed, I realized something important. Speaking English does not start with speaking. It starts with listening. And tomorrow, I will take the next step. But for now, I let the words carry me to sleep. When English becomes your inner voice, I wake up the next morning with a strange feeling. The room is the same. The walls haven't changed. My life hasn't changed. But something inside me has. There is a soft sound in my head. Not noise. Not confusion. English. Not full sentences. Not perfect grammar. Just words. Simple words. And that is new. Chapter 3. Reading that slowly changed everything. It is a rainy afternoon. The kind of afternoon that makes the world feel quiet and slow. I sit near the window with a cup of warm tea. Raindrops slide down the glass. Time feels gentle. I remember something someone once said. If you want to learn fast, read slowly. So today, I decide to read. Not a hard book, not a long article, just a short, simple English story. I search online and find one. The title is easy. The sentences are short. Tom wakes up. He eats breakfast. He goes to the park. I smile. I understand almost everything. I start reading out loud. Slowly. Clearly. I don't rush. My voice feels calmer than before. More relaxed. I finish the story in 5 minutes. Then I do something important. I read it again. This time, the words feel familiar, comfortable. The third time, my voice flows more smoothly. My eyes move faster. I don't stop as much. I realize something surprising. I'm not translating anymore. I'm understanding directly. That afternoon, I don't just read a story. I live inside it. I see the park. I see Tom walking. I feel the moment. And suddenly, English doesn't feel like a subject. It feels like a small world I can enter. From that day on, reading becomes part of my life. Not long reading. Not difficult reading. Just 10 or 15 minutes a day. A story about a girl and her cat. A story about 2 friends shopping. A story about someone's quiet day. Simple stories. Real life. I start noticing something powerful. The same words appear again and again. Walk. Sit. Look. Feel. I don't study them. I meet them. And every time I meet them, they become stronger in my mind. This is how language grows naturally. Not through force, but through familiarity. When I see a new word, I check the meaning quickly. Then I move on. I don't write long lists. I don't memorize. I trust that the word will come back, and it does. Reading out loud also changes my speaking. My sentences come faster, more naturally. I pause less. I hesitate less. Reading gives me something grammar books never did. A feeling, a sense of what sounds right, and slowly English feels less like a stranger. It feels like a quiet friend. Chapter 4. When I learn to copy, not create. One evening, I discover a new idea. It's called shadowing. At first, the word sounds strange, but the concept is simple. Listen, pause, repeat. Not just the words, but the sound, the rhythm, the emotion. I choose a short English audio, just 1 minute long. A woman is speaking about her day. I press play. I wake up at 7. I pause. I wake up at 7. I try to copy her voice. Not perfectly, just honestly. I drink coffee in the kitchen. Pause. I drink coffee in the kitchen. At first, my mouth feels slow, heavy, but after a few minutes, something changes. My tongue moves more easily. My voice feels more confident. I stop worrying about sounding stupid because no one is listening. This is my safe space. Shadowing doesn't ask me to be creative. It doesn't ask me to build sentences. It asks me to follow. And following is easier than leading. Every day, I do just 10 minutes. Short clips. Clear voices. Simple language. I listen first. Then I read the subtitles. Then I speak. Line by line. Some days I feel tired. Some days I feel slow. But I never feel lost, because I always know what to do next. Shadowing teaches me how English really sounds. Not textbook English. Not exam English. Real English. I learn how words connect, how sounds disappear, how voices rise and fall. And without noticing, my pronunciation improves. Not perfectly, but naturally. Shadowing turns my phone into a teacher, my room into a classroom, and my voice into a tool. Chapter 5. Talking to myself without shame. One afternoon, I realize something important. I am thinking in English. Not all the time, not perfectly, but sometimes. When I walk, I say in my mind, the sky is clear, the street is quiet, I am walking home. So I take it one step further. I speak out loud. To myself. At first, it feels strange again. But this time, I don't stop. I talk about my day. Today, I woke up early. I made tea. I read a story. I ask myself questions. What did I learn today? How do I feel? I answer slowly. I imagine situations, ordering coffee, asking for directions, talking to a friend. Sometimes I play two roles. I become both people in the conversation, and something amazing happens. I stop waiting for English to come to me. I go to English. I don't wait for perfect sentences. I don't wait for confidence. Confidence grows because I speak, not before. Talking to myself connects my thoughts and my voice. It teaches my brain to move faster, to choose words without fear. And one day, while cooking, I notice I am speaking without thinking. I am no longer practicing. I am using. That night, lying in bed, I feel proud. Not because I am fluent, not because I am perfect, but because I am consistent. English is no longer something I do. It is something I live. And tomorrow, I will learn how habits, small, quiet habits, can change everything. When English becomes a daily habit, I used to believe that learning English needed motivation. I thought I had to feel inspired. I thought I had to feel ready. I thought I had to feel strong. But one quiet morning, I learned the truth. English doesn't grow from motivation. It grows from habits. Chapter 6. The Power of Small Daily Habits. It is early morning. The room is still quiet. The day has not started yet. I am lying in bed, half awake. Before touching social media, before checking messages, I open a short English story on my phone. Just one paragraph. I read it slowly. Then I read it out loud. My voice is soft, but it is there. This takes less than 5 minutes. And yet, it changes everything. I have learned something important. If you wait for time, you will never learn English. If you wait for energy, you will never learn English. But if you build habits, English will come to you. After I brush my teeth, I stand in front of the mirror. I look at myself and speak. Good morning. Today is a new day. I will try my best. These are not difficult sentences, but they wake up my English brain. They remind me that English is part of my life now. When I make breakfast, I don't sit in silence. I play a slow English audio. I don't repeat. I don't pause. I just listen. My ears learn quietly while my hands work. English enters my day naturally, without pressure. Later, when I walk outside, I think in English, not full conversations, just small thoughts. The air is fresh. The street is busy. I am walking slowly. These thoughts are simple, but they are powerful because they are daily. I don't study for hours. I live in English for minutes. And minutes, repeated every day, become transformation. Chapter 7. Using Technology the Right Way. One night, I sit on my bed with my phone in my hand. I ask myself a simple question. Is my phone helping me or wasting my time? So I make a decision. I change my phone language to English. At first, everything feels strange. Settings, notifications. Simple words I never noticed before. But now, English speaks to me all day, without effort. Every time I unlock my phone, I read English. Technology becomes my silent teacher. I don't download many apps, just a few. One for vocabulary, with pictures and sound. One for speaking practice. One dictionary app. That's enough. I don't use them for hours. Just 10 minutes in the morning. 10 minutes in the evening. Short. Focused. I use voice typing. I open my Notes app and speak. My name is Sam. I am learning English at home. If the phone writes the wrong word, I know my pronunciation needs work. So I try again. Technology gives me feedback, without judgment. I also use YouTube, but not randomly. I choose slow, clear videos, short conversations, real-life topics. I watch once with subtitles, then again without. I don't understand everything, and that's okay. Understanding grows with time, not force. Sometimes I listen to English songs. I read the lyrics. I sing quietly. It helps with rhythm, with emotion. English becomes something I feel, not just something I learn. Technology is powerful, but only when you use it with purpose. 30 minutes a day is enough. The rest of the time, I live my life. Chapter 8. Turning English into a lifestyle. At some point, English stops feeling like practice. It becomes routine, like brushing my teeth, like drinking water. I label objects in my room: mirror, door, window, lamp. Every time I see them, I say the word in my mind, sometimes out loud. I don't force myself. I let English surround me gently. On weekends, I reflect. I talk to myself about my week. This week, I read 3 stories. I practiced shadowing 4 times. I learned new words. I feel proud. Not because I am fluent, but because I am consistent. Some days, I feel tired. Some days, I don't want to practice. But habits carry me when motivation disappears. I tell myself, just 5 minutes, and 5 minutes is never too much. Those 5 minutes save my progress. English becomes part of my identity, not a task, not a subject, a companion. Chapter 9. Learning never ends at home. Late at night, the lights are off. I lie in bed and think about my day. I read a short story. I listened to one video. I spoke to myself. I learned one new word. It wasn't a big day, but it was a good day. I remember the time when I believed I needed a classroom, a teacher, a perfect plan. Now I know the truth. Home is where learning begins. At home, I am both the student and the teacher. I choose what to learn. I choose how to learn. I choose when to learn. This freedom is powerful. I record my voice sometimes. 1 minute. Talking about my day. I listen back. I hear mistakes. I hear progress. Most of all, I hear courage. I still read easy stories. I still listen daily. I still shadow. I still talk to myself. Learning never stops. It only grows. English is not about speed. It is about patience. A slow, beautiful journey, full of small wins. If you are learning English at home, remember this. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fast. You just need to continue. Read a little. Listen a little. Speak a little. Think a little. Every day. Your home is your school. Your phone is your tool. Your voice is your guide. You are not alone. I started with fear, with silence. But I took the first step, then another, and slowly I found my way. And you will too. So keep going. English will meet you where you are. This is not the end. This is your beginning. It is late at night. The room is quiet again. The same quiet as the first night, but it feels different now. Back then, the quiet felt heavy. It felt lonely. It felt full of doubt. Tonight, the quiet feels calm. It feels earned. I sit on my bed and think about the journey so far. I didn't travel to another country. I didn't enter a classroom. I didn't follow a perfect plan, but I did something more important. I stayed. I stayed when it felt awkward. I stayed when I sounded strange. I stayed when progress felt slow. And because I stayed, English stayed with me. Chapter 10. What really changed? People often ask one question. How long does it take to speak English well? But that is the wrong question. The real question is, when did English stop feeling scary? For me, the answer is simple. It stopped being scary when I stopped waiting to be ready. I didn't wake up fluent one day. I didn't suddenly speak perfectly. What changed was quieter than that. English became familiar, like a song you hear many times, like a path you walk every day. At first, every step feels unsure. Later, your body remembers the way. I made mistakes. I still make mistakes. But mistakes stopped hurting. They became signs that I was moving. I stopped asking, "Is this correct?" and started asking, "Did I communicate?" That is when English became real. Chapter 11. You don't need more. You need trust. If you are watching this and thinking, I don't have enough time, I don't have good pronunciation, I don't know enough words, let me tell you something gently. You already have enough. You don't need more apps. You don't need more books. You don't need more plans. You need trust. Trust that 5 minutes matters. Trust that listening helps, even when you don't understand. Trust that speaking badly is better than not speaking at all. Your brain is learning, even when you don't feel it. Language grows quietly, like roots under the ground. You don't see them every day. But one day, you look up and something is standing there. Strong. Chapter 12. English is not a test. It is a relationship. For a long time, I treated English like an exam, something to pass, something to fear, something that judged me. Now, I see it differently. English is a relationship. You don't build a relationship in one day. You don't force it. You show up. You listen. You speak. You stay. Some days are easy. Some days are quiet. Some days are frustrating. But every day matters. English doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be present. When you stop fighting the language, it starts opening itself to you. Chapter 13. Your home is enough. Look around you right now. Your room, your phone, your voice. This is enough. Your home is not a weak place to learn English. It is a powerful one. At home, you are safe. At home, you are free. At home, you can repeat the same sentence 10 times, and no one judges you. At home, you can be a beginner for as long as you need. And beginners are brave. They are the ones who grow. You don't need to sound like a native speaker. You need to sound like you. Clearer, stronger, more confident. Step by step. Chapter 14. If you ever feel like giving up, there will be days when English feels heavy again. Days when you feel tired. Days when you forget words. Days when you feel stuck. When that happens, don't quit. Shrink. Don't study for an hour. Study for 5 minutes. Don't speak for 10 minutes. Speak one sentence. Say, "Today, I am tired. I will try again tomorrow." That is enough. Progress is not loud. It is quiet consistency. The people who succeed are not the smartest. They are the ones who continue. Chapter 15. This is why the English Oasis exists. The English Oasis is not here to pressure you. It is not here to rush you. It is here to remind you, you are capable. You are not alone. You can learn English right where you are. This channel is your quiet place, your safe space, your reminder to keep going. One story, one sentence, one voice at a time. Final words. If you are still here, still listening, still trying, I am proud of you. Not because you are fluent, but because you didn't give up. And now, I want to hear from you. What is one small English habit you will start today? Just one. Write it in the comments. Not for me, for yourself. And if this story helped you, if it made you feel calmer, stronger, less alone, please like this video. Subscribe to the English Oasis. We grow slowly here. We grow together. Remember this. You don't need the perfect moment. This moment is already enough. Take one breath. Say one sentence. And begin.